We are doing Wealth Code Seattle and DC edition. This one was highly requested. DC and Seattle actually share a lot of similarities. They both really value education and creating impact and change. However, they are manifested very differently. Seattle is all about quiet luxury and being eco-friendly, because in Seattle, you don't want to appear rich in a material or obvious way. You want to appear principled. By the way, appearing principled also costs a lot of money. Seattle really cares about being well-read, well-traveled, and really caring about the environment. They have a lot of great Fortune 500 companies, but especially tech companies like an Amazon and a Microsoft. So you hear that capitalistic innovation, we're going to change the world language kind of like in the air, but also they have older companies like a Boeing and whatnot. So there's this like sensibility. And then we go over to DC, and DC being obviously our country's capital, politics plays a huge role. What's interesting about DC is that it's not your salary that gives you capital. It's not your equity that gives you capital. It's your access to power. Are you in the rooms where decisions are being made? Do you have access to the people who are making decisions? Other reason why your salary doesn't really matter as much is, one, people in DC likely have a lot of generational wealth. If they are working in policy making or lobbying or for their family foundation, they probably aren't having really high salaries anyway. Because so much about political power is tied to people, DC is very similar to New York, where it's less about what you own and more about who you know. For example, in New York, it's not just about having the $50,000 to send your child to private school. You need to be invited to pay the $50,000 to go to the private school. In DC, it's all about very elite private membership clubs. You can't just pay the $50,000 to get in. You also need to be accepted and invited. All of this also manifests into how people express themselves and what they wear, things that signal competence and professionalism and restraint, because that's ultimately what you want to cue.